Well, welcome everyone to Beyond26 first ever fall fundraiser, exploring Beyond26. I am Jennifer Pasqua and I am going to be your virtual MC this evening. And thank you so much for taking your time and sharing it with us and spending it with us this evening. Now, tonight's program will consist of some story sharing and also a discussion panel about the important work that Beyond26 is doing right here in our West Michigan community. Now, if you probably noticed and been following along on our Facebook page, you've seen that we've been sharing videos right here on the Facebook page with the help of community supporter Elena Nearing to hear from those who work closely with this still growing nonprofit organization. So I think it's only fitting that we bring the man behind the mission to the screen right now. This is Executive Director Dirk Bachhuisen. And Dirk, we have people who are joining us that are supporters, and maybe those who are joining us because they suddenly come upon our event and curious about what Beyond 26 is all about. So first of all, where did the name Beyond 26 come from?
Well, Beyond 26 to the community that's involved or has children or knows somebody that has a disability. Beyond 26 is the signature of when they age out of the school system here in Michigan. And so that's always a question when that happens, what's next? And that's where Beyond 26 steps in.
Yeah. So tell me when and why this started.
We started this as a roundtable discussion at a local restaurant back in 2017, and as an idea. And the idea spun out of a Challengers Ball League. And Bob Undergem, our board president, and I were talking about what it could look like if we were to start a faith-based nonprofit that finds employment, whether it be paid or volunteer, for individuals with disabilities. And so that continued. That became a monthly meeting, and we finally said, you know what, let's put rubber to the road here. And we formed a board and filed for a 501c3, and we received that status in March of 2018.
Yeah, so you are still fairly new to this community, and you and I met in route of doing something together with Disability Advocates of Kent County.
Right.
And I've learned so much about this community and so much respect for what it is that you do, what they do, and what so many others do in order to help those in our community with disabilities. And I think the beautiful thing is that you find matches in terms of an employer and an employee. So do you have a roundabouts number? I know I'm putting you on the spot here, but about how many matches have you made in the time frame that you've been around?
Up through last year, we were at 40. And this year, because of COVID-19 stopped us in our tracks for a while, we've placed another 15. So even in this environment, we're still placing job seekers in jobs. And so we're at about 55 since inception, and we have 20 plus business partners that provide those jobs so far.
And it really is a beautiful thing. And I know we have a opportunity that we're giving people who are tuning in, and I see the numbers continuing to grow. So thank you for sticking around and joining us this evening. I know there may be some fresh eyes to this organization. Really appreciate you here. In order to make organizations like this work, we need the donations. And so if you feel compelled to give, if you have the opportunity to give, we are having a text to give option. You can see it scrolling at the bottom of your screen. All you have to do is text Beyond 26 to 77948. So text the word Beyond 26 to 77948. And Dirk, really this is a time when many organizations need the support, the financial support. And truly, this is something that you're hoping we get out of this evening. Of course, as well as fresh eyes that are, being brought to awareness of knowing exactly what it is that you do.
Yeah. Well, new friends is just as important as the donations, but it's a little bit of each would be great. And so, yeah.
Yeah. I've watched you talk about what it is that you do, and you suddenly get this, beautiful, smile on your face, and it really is so meaningful for you. There's got to be a personal reason.
Well, my youngest son we adopted from Hong Kong, China, and he has Down syndrome. And so that was an intentional adoption. My wife and I, we talked and prayed about it for a long time. But through my connections with Special Olympics, the Challengers Ball League, and so on, he's 23, still in the transition school system. But at some point in time, he's going to ask that question, what's next? And I'm going to ask that question for him. And so that's where I just really I'm really passionate about it, because obviously I have a family member that's going to use Beyond26's services at some time.
Yeah. And when you have that close story to why it is what you do, it really does fully leave a lasting impact on those who you meet, because you share this story. So kudos to you for what you're doing, Dirk. And, one story that we want to share at this time is one of your clients. And I want to take a moment. I'll take Dirk and myself off the screen so you can fully be engaged in this story. But this is a story of Jason, and I want you all to enjoy.
It's awesome.
It's coming toward the end of Jason Jordan's workday at J&H Family Stores.
Well, I wish I had about 10 more of Jason's. He comes to work with a great personality every day. He's fun. He likes to talk to everybody, and he likes to work.
They had me cleaning out the bag pumps, the diesel pumps, and up here the front pumps, and then I bagging ice.
And whatever else manager Shelly Bartow asks him to do.
Like I said, he's got a really great sense of humor. He kind of keeps us laughing a little bit every day. Today's his birthday, so we got him a little present, a card and stuff, and he's like part of the team, so we really enjoy him.
A birthday that some predicted he wouldn't be around to celebrate. That's because on May 16th, 2017, life changed for the then 21-year-old.
I was riding downhill, and I hit a pothole without a helmet, and flew over the handlebars and hit my head on the curb, and given a 2%, well, less than 2% chance to live. And if I did live, I was not expected to be able to function like I am.
He spent 3 months in a coma, followed by a handful of months of rehabilitation.
For him to walk and be able to do what he does is huge. Like, he was supposed to be in a wheelchair, and he has such determination, and he has this drive that most people don't have.
It's that determination that prompted him to find a job.
He wants to earn his own money. He wants to be independent.
For more than a year, his family tried to find agencies that would help. And that's where Beyond26 stepped in.
You guys were on top of it. Like, within a month, he had a job.
Beyond happy. Not only for this job, but Beyond26. Because I've been through a few different organizations like Beyond26, and I've been doing that for a couple years, and finally somebody gave me a job.
His manager Shelly says this is the first time she has had to manage someone with Jason's disability level.
No, I think I was more concerned about safety issues. But we got him situated with his own card, and he always tells me when he can't do something, and he comes and gets help.
She admits J&H's ability to find special connections to the community is what drew her to work for the company. She finds the partnership with Beyond26 very beneficial for more reasons than one.
And this program just gives people that can't do very well, maybe in a normal situation, the opportunity to work and get out there and mingle with people and interact.
And that's Jason's favorite part of the job.
Me too, outside. In there, it's kind of hot.
His advice for both people looking for a job and for businesses looking to hire?
Keep being persistent. People like me just want to work and prove people that they can work.
For him to get his first paycheck, so this is his third paycheck, he's so excited. And it's just giving him that step closer to independence. And that's what we wanted from the start, It's crazy that he's come this far. Definitely proud of him.
And he's proud of himself too. His hope is that learning about his story will prompt others to support Beyond 26, because clearly it's making a difference.
Programs like this need to continue helping people. And like, your donation counts. If organizations like this need your donation, donate, please.
Oh man, it was such a pleasure meeting him. I can tell you what, just being around him, he is such an inspiration, and his attitude, that's incredible.
He wants to work. There's no doubt about it. So yeah.
Yeah. Such a great story, and I appreciate you being able to introduce him to me so that we could get to spend a little time with him on his birthday, no less, Dirk.
That's exactly right. It was a fun day.
Yeah. Well, we also, he made a plea. He's asking people to donate, and if you have the ability to donate, we ask that you text Beyond 26 to the number on your screen, bottom of your screen right there, 77948, and it really will make a difference. Those funds will go to help continue the programming that you're offering, right, Dirk?
Exactly. We really appreciate it. That's says it all right there.
It really does. We also want to take time right now to thank our sponsors for this evening's virtual fundraiser that we're having, virtual fundraiser. We have Mercantile Bank of Michigan, Meyer, as well as Mike Curtis Agency, Farm Bureau Insurance, English Hills Event Center, where this was initially supposed to be. Am I right?
Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah, and it's beautiful that they were still willing to go ahead and sponsor this event. Also, Mark W. Tornell, DDS, thank you so much for sticking around and sticking with us, even though we've had to take a pivot in order to continue this event tonight. So I want to say hello to all of those who are watching right now. Check it out, Dirk. We've got all these people who are watching. We've got Wellington and Nicole are watching. We have Arlene saying that, Jason, you're amazing. So Jason, if you're watching, I agree with her. And we have Nancy Ritz is watching.
Yeah, Ritz is my best friend. So that's
that's good. That's good that your best friend watching, And then we also got Josh saying very cool. So you know what I ask? If you are watching right now on your Facebook page, there's a little ability to share. So you can hit that little share button and pass this along to your circle, because the more people know about this organization, we heard his stepmom say she had no idea of where else to go, and you were able to help them.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, they actually live in the small town of Hopkins, and so when I first met him, we sat with our masks on his front porch, and the way I attacked finding that job for him was to expand the map around him and look at the businesses, and that's how we ended up at that J&H Family Store and Door. It's close to home. It's part of his community, and so it was a good connection. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So many more people tuning in. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We've got Heidi. Yes. Thank you again to Mercantile Bank of Michigan. We've got Mary watching. Thank you, Mary. And we have Taz watching. We featured her on this Facebook page, telling why she loves working for the organization. And, this has been a beautiful evening so far, and we have more to come. So stick around, because, Dirk, we want to segue to some conversations that you are having and continue to have with people who are part of your mission and exactly what it is that Beyond 26 is doing. So I'm going to hop off, and maybe what we could do is we can bring everyone on screen first to tell people who we have, and then we're going to go into a virtual discussion with them. So I invite all of you, if you do have questions, as Dirk is talking with these individuals, feel free to put them in the comments. We will do our best to answer as many questions as we can. We have Emily here in the background, who's also manning all of the comments. Cindy, thank you. We appreciate that. It is truly an awesome organization. I mean, Dirk, I can't keep up with all the comments right now.
Well, good. I'm glad. It's awesome.
Lori is a proud monthly donor, so that's an option too, Dirk. We should probably mention, right?
Yeah. So on our link, I think if you whether use the text to feature or go to our website and actually hit the donate tab, there's a option there where you can give a monthly amount. And I'm proudly say that Lori Veld is our first monthly donor. And so and I'm glad she's online to watch us tonight. That's great. So thanks, Lori.
Yeah, you bet. All right. Well, let's bring everybody on who we have this evening. We've got, well, I'll bring them on, and then Dirk, you just introduce everybody who I'm bringing to the screen. How about that?
Yeah, it works.
All right. Who do we have first?
Well, it looks like we've got Bob Wondergem first. Bob Wondergem is my partner in crime. He and I are the ones that first started talking about forming a nonprofit, and he was the Challenger Ball League coordinator, and I was one of the coaches. And so I call Bob my perfect trifecta because he not only is a parent of a son with disabilities, but he's also the Beyond26 board president, and he's a donor.
Love that.
So,
all right. Now we have who?
Seth Major. Seth is the supervisor or the boss to two of our job seekers at Meyer Distribution. And Myers has become a great business partner, and we appreciate him as well coming on.
Okay, I think we have Emily helping our friend Robbie here. Hi there. Tell us about Robbie.
Robbie Call is a job seeker. He came to us. He actually first started working in Beyond26 document shredding. I quickly recognized that he could do more, and so I challenged him. And he called me a few days later and said, "Hey, I'd like to work at Brick's gas station on the corner of 8th Avenue and 44th Street." And Jessica, our job seeker at the time, or a job developer at the time, approached them, and they said, "Sure." So Robbie Call is an employed job seeker.
And then we have
Christine Tennant is a parent advocate. Her daughter probably had one of the longest waits for a job. I think she was on her roll for forever, it seemed like. And we finally found a placement for her at Horrocks Market. And so, Christine's going to talk about that experience a little bit.
And then finally,
Andrea Norn is our first ever volunteer. So she actually job coached Bob's son, Jeff, at his job at Community Food Bank. And so we're going to talk about that experience a little bit.
All right, but we're going to start with Robbie. So I'm going to put everybody out of the picture for now because I know you want to get started with the conversation with Robbie. And I'm also going to let you just take it away, Dirk. So go ahead.
All right, thank you much. Robbie, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
How come you're not nervous? I'm nervous.
You're the one who's always nervous.
Oh, well, you're doing a great job. So I want to tell you, how did you, I told a little bit of the story about how you found your job at Brick's gas station. So what I wanted to ask you about that job is how has your job changed your life?
Good question.
We were talking a little bit about, and there was one word that you used that kind of stood out when we were talking about it earlier, and that's responsibility. And so what kind of responsibilities do you have now that you're working that job?
I have a responsibility of, oh boy.
Well, you're fine. You were talking about a list. Do you have a list that you work off of?
Yes.
So what do you do as you work down that list? You check off each day what you're doing?
I check off the list every day.
Okay.
That I work there.
So that's your responsibility then, is to work that list. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay, good. So what's the best part of your job? What do you like the best?
You're going to like this one.
Yeah?
Empty the trash.
You like emptying the trash? Why do you like that?
Because there's free pop bottles that I like to cash in.
Oh, so you get a little extra pocket money is what you're telling me?
Every single time.
There's pop bottles in there, huh?
Yes.
So what does your boss Laura think of that?
I asked her.
Yeah.
And she said that's fine.
Wow, that's awesome. So you get the little extra pocket change in the meantime.
Yes, with permission.
So good job on the answer there. What would you tell other job seekers that want a job?
Go to Beyond26 and look for dirt. He will help you.
Well, that's an awfully nice compliment, Robbie. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome. So we're on to our next panelist, and that's Seth Major. And I remember Denny Klein and myself coming in with and talking to you about and actually interviewing, I think, Eric on the spot, Eric DeVries.
Mm-hmm.
And you placed him in the distribution center picking orders. And so your work, and now actually there's another job seeker that works with you as well. So what's that experience like working with our Beyond 26 job seekers?
Very similar to the video we watched. I wish we had 20 Brents, 20 Giles. They're great team members. I am trying to think, I should have done a little research, but I'm pretty certain they haven't missed a shift in their employed, as they've been employed with us. So, over a year or more without missing a shift, eager to work. Eric will say hi to me in the morning. It's just that he's just a joy. Both of them are a joy to work with. Very eager to do a great job, asking for feedback. I can't say enough about the work ethic that both of them have. And it's just been a really good fit for, Eric selects drug orders for our stores. Giles selects clothes orders for our stores. So it's important work that they do, and they do a great job at it. So it's been just a great experience. Hence why we continue to try to reach out to you guys so that we can continue, offering opportunities.
That's awesome. So this experience, does it influence how you view your leadership team at Myers? Has it changed how you look at that at all?
That's a good question. I think diversity and inclusion and working with the disabled community has always been very important to Meyer. So that's kind of, we look for leaders that value that. So I think that was kind of already in place. But as far as the leadership team, they are excited about the opportunity to continue. Any team member that comes in that's eager to work, that's engaged, is a joy for us. So me all the way down to the supervisors is we sure appreciate having these job seekers work with us. So it's been a great experience.
Okay. So based on your time with Beyond 26, how do you think? I mean, Beyond 26 is so young. Do you think that we'll continue to further impact West Michigan?
Oh yeah, I am a huge fan of Beyond 26. And Meyer got behind you guys with the sponsorship, which I was excited about. And I think what you guys are going after, the mission statement, is something that's something to live up to for myself and Meyer. So you guys are setting an example. I think it will take off like gangbusters if it were up to me.
Well, thanks. Thanks for your work behind the scenes too to get that sponsorship. I know that those just don't automatically come. So Emily and I appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem. It took a little longer than I wanted, but I'm glad we got it done.
You did. Well, next up is Andrea Knorr, our volunteer. Hi, Andrea. How are you?
Good.
So Andrea actually does a couple of things. She was a volunteer for Jeff, and that's really what we're going to be talking about today as well. But she also supervises our document shredding department. And so we've got a small little document shredding department that involves 8 job seekers that work there. And we use that for job training and just to kind of assess our job seekers on what level they're at as far as for their ability to be able to work. And so Andrea supervises that as well. But
tonight was the first time I got to see Robert since COVID shut us down, and I'm glad to see he's thriving. We miss him at document shredding, but we knew he could soar, so that was wonderful.
Yeah, he keeps asking, when can I see my friends? That's, but you first came to us as a volunteer. So what inspired you to volunteer at Beyond 26?
Well, I am a parent of a daughter who has special needs. And as she was ending her high school career, I sort of got this panic realizing that I need to know what happens next for her. I knew she had the high school transition program that she could go to, and she did go to that. But I knew beyond that, I needed to figure out what life was going to look like for her. So sort of to get a behind the scenes look, I heard about Beyond 26 from an acquaintance, and I went online and I saw that you were looking for volunteer job coaches. And you welcomed me to be a job coach with Jeff, stocking shelves. And we did that for a year together. It was a wonderful experience. I loved every minute of it.
You kind of already answered to my second question, and that's what have you gained from volunteering?
Well, I have gained friendships in our document shredding. I love each of those employees so much, and we're all friends. And I consider Jeff a wonderful friend too. But moreover, what I've gained from volunteering is a real passion, desire for people and businesses to know that, you know, we have a community of willing, dedicated people who want to work and who can enrich your workplace. And I just wish people would open their minds to the possibility of even the smallest job can mean the world to our job seekers.
All right, appreciate that. So, but I'm going to have you speak to the potential volunteers out there. Why should other people engage as a volunteer?
Well, I think because it's important for the community to get comfortable with our job seekers because they are dedicated employees. They want to participate in community life just like everyone else. And so I think the more volunteers we have, the more job seekers we can get out there working with a job coach and just do more placements for success.
Awesome. Thank you. Good job, Andrea. Appreciate you being a panelist tonight.
Thanks.
I'm going to move on to Christine Tennant. Hi, Christine. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Well, good. So my first question, I struggled with this one here a little bit, but when you first approached us at Beyond 26, I think we actually met at a disability event someplace, and we were somehow got connected that way. And then you emailed me, and we talked about your daughter. But what did it mean to you when you first heard of our organization?
Well, I'm just like Andrea. I didn't know that there was actually a resource out there that helped following high school. Emily was 23 when we first met, and I knew that we were going to struggle. I knew she was shy, and I knew we were going to need help, and I just couldn't believe that there was an organization out there that provided this resource where there's such a need. So, I was so excited. It was great. And it only took a phone call and an email.
Well, in a little bit of time. It took a little bit of time too.
But I think it took a little time because the team was so focused on really getting to know Emily and figuring out what she wanted and what she liked and what she could be good at. And so it wasn't for a lack of trying at all. It was really trying to find the right place for her.
Okay. So now that she's been at Horrocks for a while, I think, has she been there a year yet?
A year.
All right. How does that job affect Emily and your family?
Oh gosh, it has given her so much of a sense of self-worth. It has made her feel wanted and needed, and she's a very productive member of society. She has grown so much. She always called, going through the pandemic. I worried. about
Right.
how she would get through that. And she thrived, just wearing the mask and the extra cleaning. And she thrived. And she loves being called a frontline worker and an essential worker. And, I hear the same things about her, like with Robbie, that her boss wishes there were 10 of her. She's reliable, dependable, and it has provided her social interaction,
Sure.
making friends, and just that sense of self-worth, and that I have seen a lot of growth.
Okay, excellent. We're going to move on to Bob Wendergem, our last panelist. Thanks, Christine. Appreciate it. Bob, like I mentioned, you're the perfect trifecta, but what is it? Advocacy takes on so many roles within an organization. How is being a financial supporter important to you?
Beyond26 is a very unique organization that we've developed. There's nothing like it in the country. Our goal is to facilitate expanding the community circle for our job applicants. When they start school, they have a fairly small circle of family, friends, and their fellow students. And it expands until they hit the end of high school. And then they go into the transition phase and it begins to contract. But when they hit age 26, it really contracts. So, one of the main things that I see in this and is one of our advantages that we can help find, specifically in West Michigan, is West Michigan has a huge heart. And that need for community is strong here. And, it goes hand in hand where in order for us to expand and grow, we need the $5, the $20, the $1,500, and any large donor we can get to help us continue to grow and help us succeed in our mission. This population is incredibly fragile. They don't have a voice. We want to be that voice for them. So, it goes hand in hand. Is you got to have a kind heart. You got to have a good soul. The fact that we're a faith-based organization means a lot to our board. It's fundamental to some of the things that are going to help us grow. And, we're looking for help and support wherever we can get it, whether it's a volunteer, of their time, talents, and treasure. Those three things that you hear all the time. We're an ecumenical society, and those three things can intermix very easily for us. So,
all right. So I'm going to skip the last question. It's about our future because you already touched on it.
Yep.
We intend to continue to grow the organization. I do believe that it's needed. And if at some point in time that we can grow it to reach all of Michigan,
yep,
that would be a great goal. So
this was a great first shot from my perspective. It was interesting to see all, a job, someone who we actually placed, an employer, volunteers, parents, and just to get a flavor for who we are as an organization. So thanks for inviting me to participate.
You bet.
Thank you, Bob, so much. We have so many people making comments, asking questions, and that's exactly why we're doing it on this platform, because it allows people to ask these questions. One of the questions that I think either both of you, because you're so heavily involved, what kind of volunteers do you need? Let's give some characteristics of the type of person that would be the right fit to be a volunteer.
So the right fit would be someone that has a heart for our basically our mission and our vision, and that's finding employment. The job that Andrea did is going to be a growing position. Job coaches are going to be needed in the future, especially. We have a volunteer that just started that's doing sending our job seekers birthday cards. So it's such a small little thing, but a really big little thing to them. And so that's the kind of, there's more of those volunteer opportunities out there. Of course, I don't have them written on my arm, so I can't list them all, but there are jobs there.
So it's and again, if I can add just a little bit to that. So, if you've got a little bit of regular time in your week, if you feel you could give a couple hours to help one of our workers, or if there's a volunteer opportunity that they also have, because our goal is lifelong employment or volunteer opportunities. We want to help them have a very fulfilled life. So, trying to, again, how can we help them grow their circle?
Absolutely. And if you go on the website, which is easy to remember, Beyond26 spelled out .org, you can certainly get the information that you need in order for people to get involved via the volunteer route, or even get involved donating. And again, we're giving you many options here to donate. You can text Beyond26 to 77948. It's scrolling at the bottom of your screen. And as Dirk mentioned before, there are options. You could do a monthly option. You can do any amount that you see there. You could sponsor a job seeker for life. How wonderful would that be if you were able and if you have the ability to give at that level? So again, text Beyond26 to 77948. And we have a lot of people who are watching and really just thankful about what it is that you do. We've got Mary saying Beyond26, thank you. We have Andrea reminding people that document shedding. Hey, this is a good time. We're all kind of still in our homes, and we can get all of our documents together that maybe we need shredded, so that you can definitely get a hold of Beyond26 for that. Bob, thank you so much for spending time with us today.
Thank you.
And, Dirk, as I'm looking through all of the comments, you really do truly have a support system here. And many new eyes are now seeing what it is that you do. And I can't stress enough how these dollars truly make an impact on the ability to have these connections exist and to continue to keep your mission going.
That's exactly right. I mean, we have really 3 revenue sources, and monthly donors or individuals that give money is one source of donation. We started a corporate sponsorship program this fall that Emily's been driving, and it's been very successful. And that's another revenue source. And then we do have one major grant, one particular friend who's been very faithful in giving a large donation at the end of the year. So there's some grants and those type of donations as well. But to meet our budget, we're asking very humbly. We could use your help.
And you think about it, every little donation adds up, right? I mean, we can see that happen. And so if you have to give at a lower level, we're still so grateful and appreciate the support. If you have the ability to give at a higher level, boy, do we really appreciate your support on both ends. We want to thank our sponsors again. I know we've gone a little bit over time tonight, but we still have people who are engaged, who are still watching. So, Dirk, we got to give people what they want, right?
That's exactly right.
Yeah. So we want to thank Mercantile Bank. They are the presenting sponsor this evening for Exploring Beyond26. Champion sponsor Meyer, followed by all the other sponsors that have taken time to give back to the community so that you, in turn, Dirk, can also give back as well.
And we appreciate your help. Thank you.
Yes, absolutely. And any final thoughts, Dirk, as we close off? We again still have so many people who are watching, and Robbie, he just says, thanks, Beyond26, from the bottom of my heart. I think that's really just, that says it all, right?
That says it all right there. And so, yeah, I always talk a little bit about, and I don't want to bore people, but I don't talk about mission drift. And that's one thing we always keep our eye on the ball, and that is serving our Beyond our job seekers. And so that's our number one role. And as long as we do that, I think the rest will follow. So thanks, West Michigan. We're here for the long run, and continue supporting us. We love you all.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Dirk. Thank you, everyone, for spending some time with us this evening. Continue to enjoy your evening. But again, if you have the opportunity to give, we ask you to text Beyond26 to 77948. Have a great evening, everyone.
Thank you.